Buckle and Gloria, written and illustrated by Peggy Redman. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip 77: never stand on a swivel chair. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. Afterward, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. Then, one day, Napville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. "Children, this is Gloria," announced Officer Buckle. "Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit." And Gloria sat. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tight. The children sat up and stared. Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting in attention, and she was. Safety tip 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After his safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Napville School. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawing showed a lot of imagination. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phones started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips and please bring along the police dog. Officer Buckle told his safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. Then, one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the State College auditorium. When he finished safety tips number 99, do not go swimming during electrical storms. The students jumped to their feet and applauded. Bravo, bravo, they cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. The next day, the principal of Napville School telephoned the police station. Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech. Officer Buckle frowned. I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyway. Oh, said Mrs. Topple. Well, how about Gloria? Could she come? Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to the school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep, and so did the audience. After Gloria left, Nashville School had its biggest accident ever. It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, splosh. Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shot. At the bottom of the pile was a note, written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, "Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet, safety tip number 7. Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip yet. Safety tip 101. Always stick with your buddy. JK, why do you think it is so important to follow safety rules? Can you remember of some safety rules we have in our school? Like holding the handrail every time you go up and down the stairs. We even have a song for that. Do you remember? So, I would like you to think about it. Why is that so important? And what are our safety rules at school? Can you think of some? And when we come back to our classes at the school, maybe we will have some new safety rules, but we will talk about that in another time. Okay? Bye-bye!